The highlight of Parshas Yisro is the Aseres HaDibros. And right in the middle of the Aseres HaDibros, a very significant Dibra, is Kabir Asavicha Vesimecha, honoring one's father and mother. And Chazal, our rabbis, teach us that one can honor one's father and mother in life, but also in death. And this week's Webdvar is sponsored lzecher nishmas in memory of my father, Avimori Psachya ben Aryeh, Zichrona Levracha, Mr. Sanford Zwickler. I hope that my father is honored by this Dvar Torah, as well as by all the things that myself and my brother do. We try to do on behalf of Torah and Klal Yisrael, and is honored by his grandchildren, and that he looks down from Shamayim together with my mother and has nachas. So as I mentioned, this mitzvah is a mitzvah that is of tremendous importance for our religion, for Torah. And there's a story told about Rav Kook, which I think brings out the beauty of the mitzvah. Rav Kook died in the year 1935, so the story must have taken place in the late 19th century or the early 20th century. Rav Kook's mother was 84 years old and was living in his home. And there was one Friday night where Rav Kook's mother was in a tremendous amount of pain. Her throat was hurting her, her neck was hurting her, her fever was elevated, and at such an old age, Rav Kook was very concerned. And so he asked one of his helpers to see if his nephew, Dr. Nachum Kook, was nearby and would be able to come and take a look at his mother, as this was Friday night and they couldn't call and run out to the doctor. And so Dr. Kook was home and came in to see Rav Kook's mother, and immediately Rav Kook greeted him and told him what was happening, told him that his mother's fever was elevated, told him that his mother's throat was hurting, she was in terrible pain, and that her neck was hurting. And they all went in, all three of them went into Rav Kook's mother's bedroom, and Dr. Kook wanted to look in Rav Kook's mother's throat, but there wasn't enough light around. So he quickly looked at the table and saw that there was just a petroleum lamp, and he asked the helper if he could pick up the petroleum lamp and hold it next to the face of Mrs. Kook so that he could look down the throat and diagnose her. So immediately Rav Kook jumped up and said, "I'll do it." And said to the messenger, "Hope it's okay, but for you, there's one mitzvah here, the mitzvah pikuach nefesh, that we know that when it comes to the halachos of Shabbos, that we violate Shabbos in order to save someone else's life. And here you're able to touch the lamp and to hold the lamp in order to save my mother's life. But I have an obligation which would be twofold. I have two mitzvahs. One is the mitzvah pikuach nefesh, just like you, but the second is the mitzvah of kibbud avayim, of honoring my mother and my father, in this case my mother." And so Rav Kook held the lamp up so that his nephew can diagnose his mother's illness, whatever was transpiring with her at the time. I think it's a tremendous lesson for us in life. As children, from the time that we're little children to the time that we're teenagers to the time that we're adults, and we have various obligations in life, we have to make sure that our priority, as difficult as it may be at times, is to honor our parents. And as our parents age, to take care of our parents, to look at the ability to take care of our parents as a true honor, as a true zechus, and to be able to share that with our children and grandchildren. And I think it's twofold, because as parents, as we age, there are times that we say to ourselves, I'd rather my child be busy with their family and finding fulfillment in their lives. We need to declare our independence, and we don't really want them bothering us. We can do it on our own. But the truth is, many of our children are really hurt by the fact that they don't have that opportunity, because we say, I'll do it myself, and we don't give them the chance to fulfill the mitzvah as much as they can, as many opportunities as they can. So I think the lesson really here is twofold. It's on the children to remember what a zechus, what an honor it is to be able to repay our parents with gratitude, with hakara satov, and be able to honor them while we're young and they're younger, and as they age as well. And it's also an opportunity, and I think an obligation upon parents, to allow themselves to be vehicles for their children and their grandchildren to fulfill the mitzvah of kibbud avayim, even though we want our own independence as we age. And I think that is an important lesson, especially in our times, where there's really been a lack in society of respect and honor towards one's parents and towards one's elders, where the Torah is saying to us, right in the middle of the Aseres HaDibros, smack in the middle, is one of the most important lessons that the Torah has to teach us, that of respecting our parents, respecting our elders, showing gratitude and hakara satov. So we, as children, must make sure that we take part in this mitzvah and take care of our parents and see it and look at it as an honor. And as parents, not to worry that our children are going to become, or that we are going to become too burdened with taking care of us, but allow them to fulfill this mitzvah, and for us to be the vehicle to fulfill the mitzvah. And that way, the next generation, not only the children, but the grandchildren will see that the Torah pays such great importance, that this is the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted the world to be. He wanted it to be a place where there was honor and respect for parents and for elders. Thank you for listening. Have a good Shabbos.